What a delight for us to be able to offer to you a book this week and in the coming weeks that is truly cutting edge. It is a reflection of today's headlines. It is entitled Target Israel by Dr. Tim LaHaye and Dr. Ed Hindson. Dr. Ed Hindson joins us now via Skype. We're delighted to see you, Dr. Hindson. You'll be in studio with us next week, but for now, welcome via the screen to 100 Huntley Street.
Thank you, John. It's always great to be with you, a former student of mine,
Right.
and to sharing what God is doing through 100 Huntley Street all across Canada and talk about a timely issue. Israel in the last days, what's going on today? What does the Bible have to say about it?
Well, let's start with a presupposition here. Why should we as Christ followers care about what's happening in Israel right now?
Well, first of all, I think we need to remember that Jesus was Jewish. The disciples were Jewish. The Apostle Paul was Jewish. The writers of the New Testament were Jewish. And that Paul himself, in spite of all the rejection that he experienced in the synagogues, was still concerned for the people of Israel. And he still believed that there would be a time when all Israel would be saved. In the meantime, he said, even according to the grace of God, there are many that will come to faith. The Christian community, when it rightly understands the Word of God, has always had a concern for the Jewish people because they realize they play such a significant role in the plan of God.
Dr. Hindson, we have just even on the last few days seen recent reports about Palestinians stabbing unknown citizens or just folks that are walking the streets there in Israel. We also just read recently and saw news reports about the torching of Joseph's tomb. These are today's headlines. Your book really connects with readers as to what is the motivation, the background and rationale of Israel's enemies.
Well, there are a lot of things in the Bible about what will happen in the last days, but some things I think are very clear and basic. Number one, Israel has to be back in the land in the last days in order for biblical prophecies about that time to be fulfilled, and they're there. Secondly, there has to be a crisis eventually in the Middle East, and we see that developing even today. So those two things alone ought to tell us God is setting the stage for what will occur in the last days. You add to that weapons of mass destruction that have already been invented, the global economy, which is already a reality, and the very things that the Bible looks down the corridor of time to predict in the last days are already beginning to occur today. If nothing else, that tells us the stage is set, and we need to keep our eye on Israel and the Middle East because that's the focal point of what God predicted about the future.
Because it is so important, folks, we want to offer you this book by Tim LaHaye and Ed Hindson. It's called Target Israel, as relevant, as current as this morning's newspapers or what you will read from online reports. It's critical that you get the book, and in the process, when you call or go online to order this book, you can help the ministry of 100 Huntley Street. The book is Target Israel. Dr. Ed Hindson will be with us all week long via Skype, and then next week live in our studios, as every single day we get deeper into the issues as it relates to Israel, her enemies, the blessings, the cursings, all of that, biblically based. This is a great book. We want you to get it.